Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to paint a peony and I'm using this 300 GSM cold pressed. This one is A6 size, smaller in size, and we are going to draw everything first. So I'll show you everything in detail step by step, like how we can draw it first, and then we are going to use some easy technique to paint. So let's start with the drawing. So you can create a round shape like this. Now think about the center part of the flower. So the center part of the flower is more towards the upward direction, is not in the center because of the flower perspective. And then around it you can start creating small petals. All the petals are more tilted towards the inside. So you can create something like this throughout the circle that you have created. Now we need to fill this particular circle depend on where you have kept your center part of the flower. So my center part of the flower is more towards upward direction, so more of the petals are in the lower direction. So basically I'm filling the circle like this and nothing fancy as such, as you can see. So keep adding petals, little smaller, little bigger. You can have little variation into the size and shape. Those things you can try. So once done with this circle, you can start creating petals. These are the outer petals that we are creating. Again, I have created one onto the right side. Below to that, I have one more smaller petal, then one big petal, then one big petal towards the left side. And likewise, you can fill the overall area that we have, but this time the petals are a little bigger in size. Now why we are doing all these things with the help of pencil? Because there are some possibility to change in shape and size, right? So I think this one is quite bigger, so we can keep it little smaller, and these two I want to keep it little bigger, so you can modify things as per your need. We have still not added folded pattern into the petal area, which is still pending. So first you can create something like this. Once done, just rub the unwanted pencil mark so that you can see the overall flower structure in a better way, and then you can think about adding the folds into the petal area. So let's add fold here. So to add folds, you just need some kind of pattern inside the petal area to make it look like these are the folded pattern that we have around the petal. So in this one I have created two pattern like this. For the upward side petal, I'm adding some kind of structure so that I can see a folded pattern into it. Same for the other petals as well. So basically you need to create some kind of structure inside the petal area, touching the edge of the petal, so that you can have folded kind of structure throughout, depending on where you have petals. So likewise I have completed the flower pattern. Now you can create a stem. If needed, you can also create a leaf. I'm keeping only one, and sepals as well. So these things are totally optional. Now this is the one perspective that we have created. Now the easiest way to paint is trace everything quickly with the help of pen. So once you trace everything quickly with the help of pen, you will see a structure and a pattern which you cannot modify. And once you have this particular structure, the rest other part using watercolor into it is absolutely easy and simple to do. You can start painting directly with the help of watercolor without tracing it, but that could be little difficult if you are a beginner. So if you are a beginner and you are finding peony painting difficult for you, then try this particular method and you can easily do it. So once you are done with the structure, trace everything with the help of pen. I am using size 01 needle pen. This is on very fine side, and I think you can use fine pen to trace this particular flower. Once you are done with the tracing, you can rub all the unwanted pencil mark so that you can see the flower structure clearly. Now we are almost done. We are done with the structure. We are done with the basic drawing. Now let's start with the watercolor into it. So I'm creating a purple color, mixing violet and red color together. So you can have a nice purple color mixing blue and red as well, and keep it little bit diluted only. And with the help of this particular color, you can just go around the bigger petals that you have, especially around the edge, and start blending it with the help of clean brush, so that you will get very lighter shade of these kind of colors around your petal area. So there are multiple ways to paint after this particular step. I am showing you the simplest one to paint. So I'm repeating the same thing, adding color around the edge and just blending it with the help of clean brush and clean water throughout the petal area that we have. Now same thing you can do for the center part of the flower as well. You can keep the corner of the petals little darker. Again, there are multiple ways to do it, but let's do the simplest one. So just fill the color. So this is the first layer that we have. And now create little darker color. So I'm mixing more blue and more red, making it little darker. And with the help of this particular color, you can go around the outer petals that we have, and you need to paint everything apart from the folded pattern that you have created. So all the petals which are in the outer side, we need to fill it with the help of darker color, but leave those a folded pattern that we have created. So that's all we needed for the outer petals, and you will see the huge difference once you add the darker color. So assume you have one petal, one side it is darker and one side it is lighter, and because you are seeing it folded, that is why you are able to see the lighter color for the folded pattern and darker color for the petals. You can do the just opposite of what we are doing. You can keep the folded pattern little darker and the petal area little lighter. So that is also something you can do, but I think keeping the color little darker for the front side of the petal is better. So that's why I'm adding darker color around the front side of the petal. Now second thing you can do is, rather than adding darker color throughout, you can also add a shading kind of pattern. So you can just add darker color around the edge and then try to blend it and extend the darker color towards the downward direction. So you will get little texture around the petal area. So this is also you can do. So for few petals you can keep it little darker like we did for the other 3 petals that we have, and for few you can have something like this as well. So likewise you need to create the outer petals that we have. So once done with the outer petal, we are not doing too much for the inside petal that we have. So for the inside petal, around the corner that you have, like in between 2 petals you have one corner, so those corner you can keep it little darker, and that's all we needed for this particular flower. So either you can keep it like this, it is completely fine to keep something like this, and you can also add little bit of line and pattern around the petal area with the darker color. So these things you can try, and if you're finding it difficult, like keeping corner little darker, if it is difficult for you, I will show you the easier version and we can skip from this particular part as well. But let's do first what we need to do. So I'm adding some lines and pattern like this with the help of darker color using tip of my brush. So you can do it for few petals that you have. You don't have to do it for all the petals. And that's all we needed for the flower. Now another version is which is little simpler than this one, but I don't know whether you gonna like it or not. But before that, I'm adding little red color around the inner side of the petal to make it little vibrant. So that is why I have added little bit of red color. And see, that's all we needed. And if you find it difficult, you can add red color around the center part as well, and try to blend it with the help of clean water. So basically you can add darker color in the center as well, and if you don't want to go into the detailing and all, you can simply put some darker color in the center. And the structure is already defined. We have created the flower with the help of pen, so the structure is not going anywhere, and that is why it is easier to paint. So once you have structure with the help of pen, it is very easy to keep the shape and size intact, which is not possible if you do these things with the help of watercolor directly. So this is the easier version to do something like this. Now let's paint the rest other element that we have. So I have created this green color mixing lemon yellow and cobalt blue color, and just fill the leaf area, stem area, and the sepals that we have created for this particular flower. And that's all we needed for today's video. Hope this video is easy and simple to follow, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.